welcome back to the kitchen. As you can see, we are here at my own home kitchen again, due to the fact that the library is unfortunately closed temporarily at the time that I'm filming this anyway, due to a positive test result for the virus from within the library. So, but on to happier things, we are making a potato bar this week. So I'm getting the broccoli and the potatoes ready ahead of time. I have broken up the broccoli. I washed it first and broke it up into small bits. And I washed my potatoes. And next I'm going to be cutting out the eyes. So the eyes would be just basically the sprouts, the places where the potato is starting to sprout out to make new little baby potatoes. So the reason why we cut those off is just because that area where it's sprouting out new or about to sprout out new, it just doesn't taste very good. So we just cut that out. Hello, welcome back to the kitchen. It's the next day. And I'm about to make my potato bar. You just heard the oven finish preheating because I'm going to be cooking up some turkey bacon to have with my baked potatoes. I'm just following the instructions that were on the back of the bacon package, so you should just do the same. It might be different from brand to brand. Okay, so that's going to bake for 18 to 20 minutes, and last night I got my broccoli all washed and broken up into small pieces, so I'm going to be putting that in the microwave to cook. Since this is such a big container, I think I'm going to just put it in for 5 minutes on high to start. And to keep it from getting too dried out, I'm going to sprinkle a little water on top. And I'm putting my microwave cover on top of the dish in here, just to make them be hold in the steam more while they're cooking in there. Okay, I think these look done. So I'm also going to be cooking the potatoes in the microwave, just because it's quicker that way. If you prefer, you can do it in the oven. I'm not going to give instructions on doing it in the oven today because I don't usually do it that way, so I don't want to tell you the wrong thing. But what I do is I put the potatoes on a plate, and you have to poke into them several times with a fork. And that's to allow the steam that's going to be building up inside the potato a way to escape as it's cooking in the microwave. Otherwise, you might end up with exploding potatoes. Nobody wants that. Okay. So I'm going to put these in. Usually I do it for 2 minutes to start, and then I flip them over and do it for 2 more minutes, and then just see how they're doing. If you have more potatoes, it'll take longer. So this may take longer since I have 2. Usually I'm only cooking 1 at the same time, so we'll see. Okay, I've cooked them for 2 minutes on each side, and when I'm putting the fork into them, it goes in, but it sort of gets stuck in the middle, so I can tell that the middle isn't cooked yet. So I'm going to do 2 more minutes. I also did flip them another time. I'm also going to be eating my potatoes with some chicken bone broth in a mug, just because I think that would be good today. Okay, so you can see that when I put the fork in, it just goes right in all the way really easily. So I know that one's done. This one, it sticks a little bit more, but actually I'm only going to eat this one today, and I'm going to save this one for tomorrow. So when I reheat this one tomorrow, it'll be good. Alright, here's the rest of the ingredients that I'm going to be using today. A lot of people like to put sour cream on their baked potatoes, so do I, but today I'm going to be using Greek yogurt instead. This is the plain fat-free Greek yogurt, and it makes a really good sour cream substitute. I'm also going to be eating my potatoes with a little bit of the tomato sauce that I made this summer with my yellow and orange tomatoes from the garden. That might sound a little weird, but it actually is really good with the potatoes. And also my broccoli that I just finished cooking. I also like to eat some rosemary on my baked potatoes. So this is some rosemary from the garden. And I'm also going to be using salt and pepper. I like it to be a little spicy, so I'm going to be using some crushed red pepper flakes too. And I also, of course, like to eat it with lots of butter. But I'm going to be making a little bit of a special butter today. I'm going to take some of the leftover garlic that I have from a previous recipe, and I'm going to mix that into the butter and then melt it together to make garlic butter. Okay, let's get started. Alright, normally I put the camera down on top of the stove so you can see everything that's happening on the counter, but today the stove is still hot from cooking the bacon, so I'm just going to be lifting things up to show you. Right now I'm going to take the bacon out of the oven because it just finished. Alright, I'm going to be putting this on the other countertop to cool off. Okay, I'm taking out a clove. Alright, this is one clove. And because I had roasted this garlic previously, it comes out really easily. I did talk about roasting the garlic in the parsnip mashed potatoes recipe, so check that video out if you want to know about roasting garlic in the oven. Alright, I'm going to put that in the bowl with the butter, and I think I'll do just one more clove. So I want it to be garlicky. Alright, I'm going to microwave this for I think 30 seconds on half power. Alright, I'm going to put this one aside in this container. I'm not going to put the lid on yet because it's still really hot, so I'm going to let this cool off with the lid off, and that will be my potato for tomorrow. So for today's potato, I'm going to put some of the broccoli on the plate with it. Alright, I think that's pretty good. Hopefully. The butter is just about melted. Just this one little bit wasn't melted, but as you stir it, that will melt in. As you can see, it's already doing. And I'm just going to crush up the cloves with the back of my spoon. Hopefully. Alright, maybe I'll try with a fork instead. You can see, it looks kind of gross, sorry, but I'm mashing them against the edge of the bowl with the back of my fork. Okay, and then I'm going to mix in with the butter. If you wanted that to be more mashed, you could work at it further, but I don't really care. I think it's alright like this. I'm just going to pour it over the potato like that when it's time. Now normally if I was going to be making a baked potato bar to serve to a group of people, I would put all the ingredients out in little dishes like this with some cute little serving spoons and forks like this. So I have one of these for the sour cream, one for the Greek yogurt for those that want that instead, a bigger one full of the broccoli, some with this, and some with the various herbs and spices and so on. But since it's just me today, I'm going to be putting all this together on the plate. And here's my rosemary. You can see it looks kind of like pine needles. And I'm just going to crush that up over the top of my potato. And herbs like rosemary and also garlic are really good for helping you stay healthy. Garlic in particular is naturally antibacterial, antiviral, and antifungal. So garlic is a really good thing to be eating during cold season, and especially this season. And I think, I don't want to tell you wrong, but I think the rosemary is high in vitamin C, I want to say, but I I just know I've eaten a lot of rosemary when I felt like I was coming down with a cold, and the early onset cold symptoms just went away. So just a little testimonial, nothing officially medical, but I think that rosemary and garlic are great things to eat if you feel like you're coming down with something. Okay, there, I'm gonna mash my garlic butter into the potatoes a little bit. Alright, I'm gonna heat up my sauce, tomato sauce. Okay, I'm also gonna get my chicken bone broth ready. I just heated it up in the microwave. I find that 1 minute 30 seconds on high is good for this size mug. You might have to experiment with your microwave. Every microwave's different. And I usually like to, because I buy the unsalted chicken bone broth, I add just a little bit of salt. And then I also lately have been liking this Chinese 5-spice herb blend, so I add that in. You can see I've added the tomato sauce and the little bit of Greek yogurt, or you can use sour cream. And I like to put pepper and a little bit of the crushed red pepper flakes to make it a little spicy. And the same over the broccoli. Broccoli can be a little bit bland otherwise. At least I think so. Alright, and then I like to add also some of the pink Himalayan salt or just regular sea salt over both the broccoli and a little bit on the potatoes. You might not need it if you're using bacon bits, if you're using a lot of bacon or bacon bits, because those can be really salty. But I think a little bit is just good for the potatoes and the broccoli. Alright, here's the final dish, baked potato bar with all the fixings that I want. If you're serving it to guests, you can have, like I said, little dishes out with various different toppings, and people can add their own. Thanks for joining us here in the kitchen, and I hope you have a great week. See you next week. Bye.